Today we're going to talk about, are your habits actually making your menopause symptoms worse? Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Marbus, and if you're new to my channel, I am a board-certified family and lifestyle medicine physician who happens to also be going through menopause herself. So I feel like this is a really fascinating topic to dive further into. And many times women may be doing things that they, unbeknownst to them, is actually making menopause symptoms much more exaggerated than they need to be. So what could those possibly be? In addition, if you wait till the end of my presentation here, promise it'll be short, there's going to be 2 opportunities for you to learn more how to actually get yourself back on the right tracks and get this menopause monster, what many of us feel, under better control. First of all, number one, what does the number one thing do? Women is poor diet, right? So I'm going to come up with some analogies as well. I think that's important to understand, kind of compare this to something, just make it a little bit more visual for you. So if you think about your body as this finely tuned machine, right? It's a car, it's just purrs and works well when things are going real great. But a car runs better on high quality fuel, right? Than if your body performs better on a better diet. And so what do I mean by that? So what are the things in the diet that worsen it? And maybe what are some things you can be doing to improve it? Well, number one is high refined sugar intake, right? So consuming excessive sugar can lead to sugar spikes and insulin increasing, worsening your moods and swings as you have this kind of fluctuating up and down blood sugars, and you respond to that physiologically and psychologically. I'm struggling to talk today. Next is ultra processed foods, right? So these are the foods that are full of refined carbohydrates. And I'm talking about like bagels and donuts and muffins and those type of things. They also come along with unhealthy fats, right? These can cause a lot of inflammation, which can lead to weight gain. One, they're very excessive in calories, and they can exacerbate hot flashes as you become more insulin resistant. In addition, caffeine and alcohol, right? Both of these can trigger hot flashes and disrupt sleep, which overall can worsen your anxiety and irritability. And again, alcohol can interfere with hormone regulation, so it's another side note. What diet would I recommend? I did a whole live yesterday on a whole food plant-based diet, and eating more fiber is the way to go. So incorporating more plants into your diet is always a win. Next is a sedentary lifestyle. So if you imagine your body as a river, movement keeps the river and the water flowing smoothly, right? So while stagnation can lead to blockages and problems. So think about that. We want to be moving our body. Motion is lotion for the body, so to speak. And so what's going on here when we're not moving? Well, lack of exercise makes a few things happen, right? You get worsening symptoms of hot flashes and mood swings. You become more insulin resistant, your blood sugars go up, you gain more weight. Again, everything gets worse. Regular physical exercises can be equating to basically an antidepressant medication, right? So it's the most underlies thing you can do to improve your mood. It also helps you sleep more. So when you exercise more, you're increasing your sleep drive, which allows you to fall asleep and stay asleep. In addition to that, weight-bearing exercise always help bone density, right? So we want to pay attention to different types of exercise that we should be doing. So not only just aerobic, but really, honestly, I think more importantly in this time of life is resistance training and weight-bearing exercises, because our bone health is so important, especially during this perimenopausal time frame. You'll see an acceleration of the loss of bone density. So we need to be doing everything we can in our daily activities to enhance it and maintain our bone density. Next is smoking, right? So, smoking is like putting toxic substances into an engine, and that really just causes it to deteriorate faster, right? So it causes hormone disruptions. It also is a detriment to your bone health. It accelerates osteoporosis. And of course, it can affect blood circulation, worsening high blood pressure. Smoking in general, we understand, is not healthy, but especially when it comes towards menopause, it's definitely one thing that I'd highlight. If you haven't considered stopping it, really working towards doing that. Next is stress. People are like, but I have stress all the time. Yeah, but we can learn to interact with stress, and we can also understand that we create a lot of our own internal stress by the thoughts that we're thinking, how we speak to ourselves. So think about stress as adding weight to a balancing scale that's already trying to stay even, right? So what happens when you have more stress? Your cortisol levels rise, right, which interfere with hormone balance, and it can worsen things like insomnia, anxiety, and mood swings. It also can affect your immune system, right? So chronic stress can weaken the immune system, making the body less resilient to physical onslaughts or changes, things that are occurring. So just again, what can we do? There's a lot of different things you can do to manage stress, and one of them is exercise, like I mentioned before, but mindfulness practices and things. Again, this isn't necessarily a presentation to go deep diving into these, but I wanted to highlight those, and I'd love to hear in the comments if you think any of these are resonating with you. Next is poor sleep hygiene, right? So good sleep is like recharging the battery, right? Your brain utilizes 20% of the glucose in your body every single day. For a little 3-pound organ, it is very metabolically active, meaning it needs energy. So what happens when we sleep? Poor sleep prevents the battery from recharging, right? So think about it at night when you're resting and getting those 7 to 8 hours that you need. The janitorial cleanup crew is coming around, and that the brain's really active all the time, but it's super active when you're awake, and there's going to be a lot of metabolic waste, right? It's metabolically active, it's using energy. So the janitorial crew comes in and it cleans up, and that's what the rest and sleep is, right? And so that's really important. So thinking about things that disrupt your sleep, irregular sleep schedules, excessive screen time, caffeine, and uncomfortable sleep environment, that can really exacerbate your already sleep disturbances that you might already be having. Again, the night sweats, right? So poor sleep hygiene can make night sweats worse, more insomnia, more difficulty. You're going to wake up more moody and not happy, more difficult to be around, which adds more stress. So again, there's going to be multiple factors you can do in your lifestyle that all improve your sleep, that will also improve the hot flashes. There's foods you can be consuming, there's activities. Again, lots of things I'm going to get to here in a minute. 2 free resources for you to start doing the actions that will improve some of these habits. Next is alcohol consumption. So many people think, oh, I can just have a little bit. Well, alcohol is a toxin at any amount. And consuming alcohol is like adding a volatile element to a chemical reaction. It just makes it more unpredictable, right? Hot flashes can dilate blood vessels and worsen and trigger your hot flashes. And it definitely disrupts your sleep. You may think, oh, it induces sleep, but it actually causes wakefulness later in the night, and that disrupts the sleep cycle, which sets you again up for more sleepless nights. It's a mess. So alcohol, my friend, is not your friend. Next is dehydration. I think we walk around so chronically dehydrated. People don't understand what just drinking more water, how it'll make them feel. But when you think about that, just as a plant, really wilts without enough water, you can think of your body as functioning suboptimally with less water. And what's interesting enough, when you hydrate your cells well, they actually manufacture more protein, a little better protein synthesis. It aids in weight loss. Crazy stuff with hydration. I did another video as well on hydration and weight loss. Fascinating stuff. Anyway, let's just think about skin health, right? We already know menopause is you get some dry skin. Well, dehydration makes it worse. It can also exacerbate vaginal dryness. So again, some things you can do is just drinking more water. How much water? A rough getting you started is 8 to 10 ounces of water for the first 10 hours that you're awake. Okay. That's just a rough starting point. If you're exercising, you're doing different things. Of course, if you have certain physical chronic diseases, you may not be able to drink as much, but that is a rough getting started point. Next and final is number 8 is lack of social support, right? So think about social support and friends is a safety net. And without it, the challenges of life can feel even more overwhelming, right? Because you feel like you're teetering and you don't have anywhere to rely on. So lack of social interaction can lead to feelings of isolation and depression and worsening mood. Stress management, right? So social support helps buffer against stress. And, it just can make it easier to deal with menopause symptoms when you can connect with women who are going through the same thing as the rest of us. So in summary, what should we be doing? Focus on a balanced, whole food, plant-based diet, right? Staying away from ultra-processed foods, regular exercise, just getting started, even if it's a small amount. Quit smoking, decrease your drinking or stop it altogether. Working your stress and mindfulness, practice on good sleep hygiene, stay hydrated, and build those social connections. Now, with all of that encompassing, you're like, oh yeah, that's easy to, it's so much you can do. Pick one thing, and I'm going to give you two opportunities on how to get started and learn more today. Is I have one, a free 5-day coaching program where we're going to do a fasting mimicking diet. Consider this as a jumpstart into eating well, right? And so I have connected with the folks at Prolon. I've talked to the CEO, Dr. Anton, multiple times. I've interviewed him. And I've done the Prolon fast myself. It's 5 days of food. The food is obviously not free, but the group coaching we're doing an hour every single day between June 10th and 14th. Again, all you have to do is order your food. Once you sign up, you'll be sent a link for a 20% discount, and you'll get the Zoom link that we show up every day for 5 days. And I'm going to be teaching about how a fasting mimicking diet can help things like menopause, diabetes, mental health, all those different things. And you're going to learn the science. And then what are the next steps? Like, what should I be doing next? And what is the next road after doing this? Or can I do it multiple times? Again, great place to start. Just another free resource if you find that helpful. Of course, you'd have to buy the food, but that's at a 20% discount. Next is my free masterclass, which I'm sure you guys have heard me speak about this. It's basically the 5 steps to master your metabolism and lose weight. Today I'm working on actually master your menopause and lose weight. It's the same things. I'm just going to be highlighting it through the menopause lens, but this absolutely will help menopause symptoms. And I'm also going to speak to the 4 biggest mistakes people make on their weight loss journey. And so when we think about these things, there needs to be a framework, right? A framework of how you think about the situation at hand that you're trying to deal with. So many times we feel like we're confused and we don't know where to start. Well, this is the masterclass that's going to help you get started. Understand the steps that you need to think about for your personal journey. And that's the personalization piece is so very, very important. And so anyway, the 2 links are if you're on YouTube, it's in the description below. So please check those out. You can do one or both. And if not, please share this video with maybe someone that you think that might be helpful. Please subscribe as well. I'm so thankful for having an audience here and people listening. I so appreciate you. And thank you again, as always. I'm sending you love, joy, peace, and gratitude. And above all else, healing, because we all need a little bit more of that in our lives every single day. And thanks again for spending time with me. And you guys have a great rest of